Hey everyone, taking a little break in pace from doing noisemaker videos. Today I'm going to pump my own septic tank. Don't be discouraged because I already know there's shit in there that does not belong. So a lot of people don't know anything about septic systems, and this is more geared towards them because I know a lot of you guys know exactly what I'm looking at here. So here, this is the inlet portion of the tank. This is where everything comes from your house. And that little piece of wall right there, that's your inlet baffle. That sticks down roughly, I think, 18 inches into the tank, and it opens up into the rest of the tank. This is a 1,000-gallon single chamber, nothing particularly special about it. So when you have backup issues, typically that's going to start right here in this inlet baffle when material builds up, whether it be from a high water level because of an improperly draining field, or you could just have a bunch of watered up toilet paper, flushable wipes. Those like to cause problems. Putting grease down your drains, sometimes grease will build up in there too. That's a big no-no. So as I draw the tank down, that's going to drop into the main tank. Over here, you got your big lid. Some of them are square, most of them are circle like this. This is the main part of the tank where you actually do the clean out most of the time. Well, there's a couple of tricks to get around that if for some reason this half of the tank's under a house, whatever. And down here, I couldn't quite get this one off. I don't want to destroy my outlet cover. All that is an inspection port to look at the water going into your line to your distribution box or whatever you may have. It's nothing really I'm concerned about because I don't have any issues. My tank's at proper operating level. What you don't want to see is your water level touching the bottom of that lid. That would indicate some sort of issue further down the line. But we're going to get started here, see if I can duct tape my phone to this probe. This is the probe for finding a tank. It's nothing special, but it gets the job done. Got a couple of extra tools out here. Follow the hose back. I'm not going to actually show you the truck because it's not my truck to show off. This is another little tidbit for those who don't actually know what's going on. So everything comes into this valve into the back of the truck, and inside the tank, if I had a cross section to show you, that tube actually does a sharp turn up into the top of the tank, and it sticks up about 3/4 of the height of the tank. So it'll continuously drop it into the tank rather than just try to pull against all the liquid that's already in the tank. This is a big 6-inch discharge with heated collars for the winter time, so stuff doesn't freeze up in the back of the truck, split valves and all that good stuff. You can dump this truck in about 4 minutes. This one holds 2,500 gallons. I can guarantee this video is not going to be the greatest quality because I'm doing it with a phone and I have no software to edit the video itself, so it is what it is. That's amazing. Duct tape did work. I love it. Let's get started. This top layer stuff right here, this is the crust layer. A lot of weird stuff's gonna build up here. Grease will float and attach to things. There's a lot of other stuff that'll end up here. Flushable wipes like they sit on the top too. Get it nice and mixed up before you start pumping. It makes it a lot easier at the end of the job. You're not trying to scrape a bunch of stuff towards the hose. I also like to take the rake, scrape it along the bottom to loosen up the sludge on the bottom. It won't fully suspend most of the time, but it'll help loosen it up. So I got the truck PTO engaged, the pump's in vacuum mode. I only got it in idle, I'm not in a big hurry. I like to be able to hear some of the stuff I'm saying, whether you want to hear it or not. But it'll draw it just fine like that. Got my garden hose out to rinse the tank after, which that's more or less, to me, preference. The customer wants their tank rinsed at the time of service. You know, they get what they pay for. When I'm done, I'll try to show you what the baffles look like from inside the tank. Sorry, phone had heat stroke. I'm down to the sludge layer now, which over time that's going to build up anyways. I've been to tanks where 3/4 of the tank was sludge because they haven't been pumped in so long. And you don't want to wait that long because the water that comes into your tank will try to find a way to make space in the tank, and it's going to force the sludge out into your distribution box and leach field when it gets to that point. So that's why you pump your tank. It's a maintenance thing, not so much just so you feel good about it. Because all it is a giant solids trap, more or less. So it comes in here, drops down to where the water level was before, and where that water level was would be just to the bottom of the outlet pipe. Everything that comes in is going to displace that amount of material out to your leach field, if that's what you have. Some people have dry wells. I'm not going to get into all that. But so far we're looking good. I haven't done this tank since we put it in about 11-12 years ago, which is waiting way too long. That's ignorance on my behalf. So ideally you want to keep your tank somewhat clean, have it pumped every so many years. Suggested service interval is about 3 to 5. And all this is to protect your leach field. Without a leach field, nothing goes anywhere, and you're going to have problems up the yin-yang. See if I can get this down here. Yeah, see? Right here, that's the inlet baffle. Bottom of the tank, inlet baffle. Just sticks down in the tank so far. And if we come back around this way, that right there is the outlet baffle. That makes it so that the solids that float on the top don't go straight across into your output line. That's how it acts as a solids trap. It takes mainly from the water level of the tank, the center section where that's where all your effluent is, has the dissolved material. It'll go up and feed into that baffle, keep the solids on the top, and in theory, if you keep your tank pumped, solids, your sludge from the bottom shouldn't get in there either. But I've seen worst case scenarios. Now the cavern is empty. Ooh. So just a quick recap. Your water level should maintain below that pipe, your inlet. That's when you'll start seeing backups. This is your clean out. This is one pumpers are looking for. If you can't get this one, sometimes they can do with that one, but this one's best. And down here, if you can get this door open, you should see the water is just trickling into the bottom of the pipe. Keep flushable wipes out, tampons, tampon dispensers, condoms, grease, things that typically aren't going to biodegrade very well, don't belong in there. Stuff will build up in the tank. There's nothing you're going to do about it. That's why you do the maintenance of pumping. Don't mind the long pause, I'm thinking. It's a very painful process. And just because it says it's a 1,000-gallon tank, that's at operating level. Physically, they can hold 1,250, 1,300, somewhere in that ballpark. So if it's up to that lid and you get charged more for extra water, that's why. No one's trying to pull one over on you. It's just it costs money to dispose of the stuff, and fair is fair. I hope all of you enjoyed this. I'm not the best public speaker, and if you disagree with anything I say, that's fine. Just don't make a big spectacle of it. Happy pumping.